Hi everyone! I thought today I would start with the card share and then I'll move on to the haul video afterwards, mostly because my natural light is failing and the last time I waited till too long the colors didn't show up really well. So I thought I'll start with this. So this is the first card. I'm really happy with it because I got to try out a lot of new products, and I've been trying to use up some of my pattern paper, so I was really happy that I finally got to use an old pad of pattern paper. So this is the Hello Lawn Fawn script die, and I did the Wink of Stellar clear glitter pen, and then I put the glossy accents over it, and I layered up 3 or 4 of the hellos, so I had some dimension. So I really liked the way it turned out. This is the first time I actually got to try the technique, so very fun. And then I used some sequins and everything else. So this one also I did for fall. So I really wanted to try out using more of my pattern papers, and I got to use my Lawn Fawn leaf dies, my scripty leaf die, or yeah, stitched leaf dies. So that was really fun, and then I just picked out some sequins that would match, and this is also from one of the Lawn Fawn stamp sets, the Sentiment, so that was really fun. And then I did a bunch of Christmas cards as well. So this one I was trying to recreate what Jennifer McGuire had on her blog probably 6 weeks ago. I really loved the way she got watercolored and then put the perfect pearls over top. So that's what I was playing around with, and I was using my new Tim Holtz stamps as well. So I had a lot of fun making this and trying out new techniques. I'm definitely going to use this perfect pearls watercoloring technique on anything I want to be glimmery. It worked so well, so I really love that. And then I got to use, I finally made a card with my Dina Wakley Scripty Birds, or Scribbly Birds stamp set. So I was trying to make it into a little winter bird and everything else, and I used one of my stencils with the trees, and I used texture paste, and I just put some of the fog ink into it, so it has that slightly gray look, so it looks kind of wintry, but it's not white on white. So I really like that, and the stamp set is from a Purple Onion design, so I had a lot of fun coloring this little guy. So that's that one. This is one I actually just finished tonight, so I really love the way the Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis turned out. So I made a bit of a stuff up. The one thing I changed is the trees that I stamped here. I stamped them in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, wanting the darkest ink, but then I wanted to heat emboss over them, and I waited overnight and heat set it and everything, and it still could not, I couldn't get, it would just, the embossing powder stuck to all of the trees, not just the sentiment. So I ended up just doing it on black paper and then fussy cutting out the sentiment. So it's not exactly the way I like, but anyway, I made the card work. So, and this little penguin is for a stamp set I'm about to show you soon. So I did the background with just Distress inks, which I was pretty amazed at. So I sort of just started with Tumbled Glass, and I left these 2 streaks light, and then I just used Peacock Feathers, Chip Sapphire, and Black Soot around them, and then at the end I used my paintbrush and created streaks and let the water sit on there, and then put a paper towel on to soak up the water so it would lighten it even more. And then after it dried, I put a little bit of green over top of it, because where I'm from in Canada, they're usually green, so I did the green as the aftermath. So I really like this one. And this one was me playing. So again, trying to use up the pattern paper. I actually liked the card more without the pattern paper, but I was determined to use it. So I used a combination of Mama Elephant and the October Afternoon stamp set from my last haul video to make it. So I really liked the way these guys ended up colored. And I ended up having to use a white gel pen around the embossing of the sentiment, just because it just didn't stand out enough. It did on a white background, but not with the pattern paper, so I did that. And then the snowflakes here, this is just the Wow Vintage Vanilla, I think it was called. So it's like a white embossing powder with gold sparkles through it, so I really love this as snow. So I'm definitely going to use that embossing powder for snow in future. I'm definitely going to have to work on my gluing down of vellum though, because I got little bubbles like 2 days later, so I'm not too sure what I should have done there, or whether I should have put a block on it or something and let it dry completely before I moved it. But anyway, I'll practice with that. And then I made a Halloween card. So this one was with a Tiddly ink stamp set that I bought, probably for last Christmas, or sorry, last Halloween. And I had lots of fun coloring her. It was all just done with, look, I probably used 5 different types of watercolors. I used everything from Distress ink to, you know, my Inktense pencils and my Perfect Pearls. So I was just trying to find the right colors, so I just used all of them together. And then to finish it off, I used black soot around the edges just to frame it a bit. So I think this one's really fun. And then I used this one here. This is using the Lawn Fawn stamp set to do the little penguins. And then the ice here I did in Wow's, I think it's holographic glitter is what it's called, or iridescent glitter, something like that. And I used that heat emboss and then fussy cut out the little ice blocks, and I really liked the way they turned out nice and shiny. And I used different paper so that the ice blocks would be wider than the background, which is more like an off-white. And this is actually, I'm still using up my backgrounds from that watercolor class I took back in May, so I still haven't used all the backgrounds I made, so I was really happy to finally put this into a card. And this is that liquid platinum Tim Holtz embossing pattern, which is probably one of my favorites. I just love it. So that's that one. And then this one here is probably one of my favorites. I recreated a card that Elena, who is a designer on both Mama Elephant and Lawn Fawn website, she made this card, not exactly the same, but pretty similar. And I had the right stamp set and die cut, but like I didn't have the right pattern paper, so I ended up watercoloring my own, and I used the Festive Berries Distress ink and also the Ruby Dina Wakely heavy body paint, which you can water down and it turns into like a watercolor. So I used them together to get this really perfect Christmas red. Yeah, so I love the way the red, it's just the perfect bright vibrant red. And like the toque is from the Critters in the Arctic Lawn Fawn stamp set, and yeah, so, and the sentiment is from a stamp set I'm about to show you, so I'll show that in a minute. But I had a lot of fun trying to use the supplies I had to recreate like as close as I could get to her card. So I had a lot of fun just playing with all that. So yeah, so there's my card share. And now on to the haul video.